Hey guys, so this is my new series that I'm running called Pimp My Partscaster, and what I'm going to do is basically build a partscaster from scratch, and I'm going to get you guys to help me choose which parts to put on it. So the whole premise behind this series is that I'm going to build this partscaster. We're all going to choose the parts, so I'll kind of put polls on whether we're going to do a strat, telly, pickups, pick guards, switching, all sorts of stuff. Basically everything that I can kind of custom tailor. I'm just going to run polls on it and see what you guys want. And then at the end of it, hopefully, someone will be crazy enough to buy it. I'm just going to sell it for the cost of the parts, and then we'll do another one. So we'll kind of keep the ball rolling, which would be really cool. A non-profit Pimp My Partscaster. Hopefully we can keep this going as an entire series and build some really cool guitars. This is a partscaster that I've done before. This is a Relic Telecaster, Sonic Blue. I've got some vintage tuning pegs on there. I've got the Stresscaster whammy on there, which is cool. And I've got four-way switching, so I've got an extra one, which is series, and I've also got a coil tap on there as well. So, pretty tricked out little Telecaster, which is really cool. So I ran some stories on my Instagram. And the first one was, did we want to do a Telecaster or a Stresscaster? The results came in and you guys chose, it was really close actually, you chose for a Stresscaster. I'm not going to lie, I was slightly disappointed I wanted to do a telly, but you know, I'm a telly boy. It's cool, I'm totally on board, so I'm really up for doing a Strat build, so that's going to be excellent fun. So the next poll that I ran after doing the Strat or the Telecaster was whether we wanted to do a Relic or a new build, and I'm definitely down for what you chose for, which is to do a Relic. I think they look cool personally. So I'm going to get the Strat body from the same place that I got this from, which is MJT on eBay, which is in America. He runs auctions on these Relic parts. He basically auctions them off all the time, constantly. And you can snag yourself some good deals. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for that on a Relic Strat body. Haven't decided on colour. I might be a bit flexible with colour so that maybe we can grab ourselves a bargain on the body, which would help keep costs down a little bit. So the next thing we spoke about was the neck. The two choices that I ran on the polls were roasted flamed maple or solid rosewood. And I thought it was actually going to go the other way. I thought you guys would go with the flamed maple, but he didn't, and he chose the solid rosewood. And I'm very happy because it's going to be sick. Solid rosewood neck is going to look awesome. So then the next thing we did is we spoke about the neck carve, okay? And we're going to do a fat neck, which is kind of more old school 50s, or if we're going to do a thinner modern carve. And you guys chose to go for the more modern carve. So actually I'm quite glad about that because this one's really thick. And it's going to be nice to do something that's a little bit more of a modern feel to it rather than, because this is like a baseball bat, so it's going to be nice to play something a little different for a change. We're not going to do anything like Ibanez or Shreddy because that would be crazy, so we'll just keep it more of a modern feel. So then the radius. So the radius is basically how flat or how curved the fretboard is, okay? So old vintage guitars typically had very curved fretboard, and what that meant, it was easier for doing bar chords, whereas the opposite of that is with a higher radius would be a flatter fretboard, so like maybe a classical guitar which is almost flat. So these days you get this thing called a compound radius, so you have it curvier on the lower frets, and as you get higher up the fretboard the radius gets flatter. So what road is this going to lead us down next? We're going to basically build a Relic all rosewood neck Strats, and the neck carve's going to be more modern with a flatter radius, so kind of more modern player neck, solid rosewood, Relic body. So I think the next part's where we really want to inject a bit of character into the guitar, and I think we need to really kind of trick out some of the switching, mix up the pickups a little bit. So if you've got any suggestions about stuff that you want to see, you know, for example, we've got the Stresscaster and we've got all the tricks out wiring here, coil taps, the stuff you want to see, then go to my Instagram and DM me basically. Send me some suggestions on stuff that you want to see. If stuff's popular, I'll run it in the polls, and then we can choose as a group what we're going to do. Should be a cool little series, and hopefully you guys can get a really cool, well-made Partscaster, because I'm not just going to bolt this together like some kind of schmuck. I'm going to get my guy Pedro, who's a local tech in Brighton, to put it all together, because he's super pro, and it was, if I do this, it's not going to be a great job. So I want this to be a really well-built guitar. We're going to buy the best parts we can buy. I'm not going to cut costs on this, so I think all in we're probably going to spend about 1,000 UK, maybe 800 if we can keep the costs down a little bit. We shall see. Basically sell it at the end. Hopefully someone will buy it for cost, get themselves a really good guitar for a great deal, and then I'll build another one, and so on, and then we can get crazier as they go, but we can do some kind of cool custom hot rod kind of Fender Partscasters together. Pimp My Partscaster.